So the question is, how can one form new habits and routines even when the blood programming in one's karma is very strong?
Perhaps the imagination might be helpful. The reason why you're saying that habits are strong is because they're given to be strong. That's the whole purpose. Is to bind you in a set of behaviors that is typical or common to the blood, right? Ordinary karma, ordinary behavioral patterns, you know. And so we can call it an exercise of willful imagination, to be more than that. And if you're strong enough in your willful imagination of being more than that, there's a possibility that can break. Sometimes those habits and karmas are keyed into time. That means they can come and go of themselves or by way of the unconscious or the subconsciousness. Being under the influence of someone else can take them away from you too. So I've had a number of people who have been here who in the past have said that being here also helped them to go beyond their stuff, because that karma is not being validated. So in other words, it's not considered as real. Yeah, it's part of the biologic sort of processing of energy, but it's not real beyond the point. It's mechanical. It's instinctual. It's animal, right? So mind over that means by some imagination or by some intuition of the spiritual in you, you can override that. So you have to have a higher ideal. It's nice to have a good example. And a strong willpower to be beyond your suffering and having to, do yourself in. Or limit yourself from growing, which is more important. So at the point where, let's say, a man, if we're talking about a man, ejaculates, he brings himself down to zero. He's ready to go to sleep. He burns up his powers. Temporarily, but he burns up his powers. In other words, he doesn't allow it to accumulate. And it's true of women too, right? Even though we can create more power, right? We can make up for it in a certain way. The pattern is, just thinking about it is exhausting in some cases. Because what is that about? It's about willing loss. You want loss. You don't want gain, you want loss. So you give up your pleasure. You indulge your pleasure to lose it, which is a psychology, right? It's a logic. But if you are able to bypass the, let's say, the urge and the tendency, it's possible that power can accumulate, right? And the adepts say the accumulation of that power is very, very important for going beyond other barriers and dimensions of obstruction as you progress on the path.